What's up guys? Welcome back to the Classic Car Maintenance channel. In this video, we're going to give this Jeep Wrangler that has been sitting under a maple tree for 6 months with electrical issues its first proper detail in 25 years. Believe it or not, there is a black Jeep somewhere under all that dirt, tree sap, and pollen buildup. Apart from all the dirt, we'll also need to polish it for the first time in 25 years. Then repaint all the plastic parts, the plastic fenders, the wheels, and fix the front fender rot that has slowly become worse over the years. This is gonna be a challenge, but wait till you see the results. First, we gotta pressure wash all the chunks and sharp bits off so we don't scratch the paint up even more when washing it. Although I'm not sure if it's possible to get more scratches on it than it already has. Look at that difference. But don't get fooled. Water and some sunlight can hide a lot of imperfections and scratches. Now that all the large chunks and sharp bits are pressure washed off, it's time to wash the car. You can find more in-depth videos and how-tos on how to wash and detail your car on our channel, so make sure to take a look at them as well. Even after the pressure washer, foam gun, and wash mitt, some of the moss was still clinging on. So time to get the small brushes out. Before we can start polishing, we first need to make sure all iron particles are removed. So we're going to use our iron remover spray and then wash it off again to make sure none of the acid is left behind. Now that the car has been washed, it is clear that the paint is in even worse condition than expected. It's covered in white specks that do not want to come off with a pressure washer or wash mitt. So we got to use a clay bar to further prep the surface for polishing, and hopefully this will do the trick. And in places that aren't completely covered in these white specks, you can already see how many scratches are on the paint. 25 years without polishing, and now there isn't an inch without scratches. It used to be a deep black color, but there's so many scratches now it's become grayish and dull. So let's grab our clay bar and get to work. It's pretty stubborn to get off, but it works. Let's do the rest of the car so we can start polishing. Now that everything has been clay barred and the white specks are removed, it's finally clear just how many scratches there are. The paint is one ginormous haze of scratches, swirl marks, and stains. And not just superficial ones, there are a lot of deeper scratches in there that will pose a real challenge. The paint is really thin in a lot of places, so it's going to be difficult to get all the scratches out without polishing through the paint. And yeah, you guessed it correctly, we're going to have to polish around all the plastic and rubber pieces, the fenders, the bumpers, the door handles, the external hinges, the bolts and screws. It's going to be a long day. A Jeep Wrangler is one of the most difficult cars to polish because of all these obstacles, but the result will be amazing. We're going to start with coarse polish to get all the deep scratches out and end with finishing polish to give it that extra shine. Just look at that difference. From a dull, grayish paint filled with scratches to a surprisingly good-looking black paint. It's not perfect, but it sure is better than what we'd hoped for. Now let's hope the entire car will turn out as nice. We're first going to use a pencil tip polisher to go around all the small obstacles and follow up with a medium-sized polisher and finally go over the bigger areas with our large DA polisher. We didn't bother taping off the fenders or bumpers because we're going to have to respray them anyways. Saves us a lot of time, and this is going to take long enough already. now that the paint is looking good again, it's time to address the fenders, bumpers, and plastic parts. The black paint is peeling off and underneath hides the original faded plastic trim that has lost most of its color and looks awful. So we're going to sand it down to remove all the paint and prep the surface for a new layer of special plastic paint. We're going for matte black, which will give a nice contrast against the shiny black paint on the bodywork. We'll post the detailed videos on our channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. Now that everything has been sanded and prepped for painting, it's time to cover our Jeep in plastic so we don't accidentally get paint on the rest. And for our tires, we just cut open a large trash bag and wrapped it around them. Simple, but it works great. With everything taped off and covered, the only thing left to do is to degrease the surface to make sure the paint sticks properly and doesn't come off. And now we can start painting. Now we've got the paint and plastic looking great again. It's time we do something about those wheels. They were once nice black Jeep wheels, but after a tire change, rebalancing, and years of being a daily driver, these have definitely seen better days. They look nice from a distance, but once you get up close, you can see the wheel weights. The old location of previous wheel weights, paint flaking off and rust everywhere. So our plan is to restore them, remove and treat the rust, and finish them with Raptor spray for the rugged look and super tough finish. This stuff should protect them for years to come. Let's get to work. Before painting, we're going to scrape off and sand the existing rust and treat everything with Rust Reformer to further remove all rust and prevent new rust from forming. And afterwards, we'll spray the drum brakes with heat-resistant enamel paint. Although it would be better to take the tires off the wheels and have the wheels dipped in acid, we're doing a budget DIY restoration with normal tools and products, and lots of elbow grease, of course. Now that everything has been taped off and all the rust treated, we can start painting. We'll post the detailed videos on our channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. Now that the inside is done, it's time to tape off all the holes and do the front. Now that the tires are still off, we have the perfect opportunity to finally do something about this fender rot. It's a classic problem lots of TJs have because water gets trapped between the fender and that support plate, and it stays there and rots everything away. As you can see, there's chunks of rust coming off everywhere. But it's not just the driver's side. The passenger side is in bad shape too. You can peel off entire flakes of rust. It's even made its way through the fender and is starting to rust holes in the paint. You can clearly see it from the outside. This entire area is affected and needs to be treated for rust. It's even worse on the driver's side where a hole is starting to form. You can clearly see it when washing the inside fender. Water comes through the metal plate through the rusted crack in the paint. So we're going to have to remove all the rusted material. Treat the remaining metal and fill the holes up again. Let's get to it. Now we only need to paint the inside and then we're done with the fenders. Now that everything is clean, polished, and restored, we're going to repair the stone chips. Or try at least. The paint on this Jeep is pretty thin in a lot of places, so it's going to be risky doing this. But because it's already such an old and worn paint, we don't have much to lose anyway. So let's try to hide them as good as we can. Although we use the exact factory color, it's virtually impossible to replicate the color of the original paint on the car, as the sun will slightly change this over the years. But it's a lot better than before, and that is the goal. It's never going to be a show car. We just want to make it look as good as we can with how it is now. This Jeep had never been properly detailed in 25 years and sat under a maple tree for the past 6 months due to electrical problems. The dirt, tree sap, and pollen buildup was awful and stuck to the paint. Under all that dirt, the paint itself was covered in white specks and had become grayish dull from all the scratches it had accumulated over the years. I don't think there was even 1 square inch without scratches. It was probably the most scratched up paint I had ever seen. The paint on the plastic parts and fenders was peeling off, if there was any left at least. The wheels were rusty and had lost their paint and shine. And those wheel weights have been an eyesore ever since the tires got changed. Not to mention the holes that were rusted in the front fenders. But in the end, our budget DIY restoration managed to give it a second life and hopefully preserve it for years to come. Just look at how it looks now. There's only one more thing left to do now. Perfect. It's been a lot of work, but she's finally looking presentable again. Approved. Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, please consider liking and subscribing. We'll be posting the detailed videos of this restoration soon, so we'll see you on the next one.